Right now, you're probably making some sort of income right now. And as you save up every dollar, you subconsciously think of things to buy with it. Clothes, a new phone, a used car, or something as small as dinner. But at the same time, you feel bottlenecked with what you should do with your money. Not want, should do. Should I invest in ETFs? Mutual funds? Stocks? Well, what if I told you it was none of the above? Now, don't get me wrong. Those are secure, great ways to invest a percentage of your income into. But let's just think beyond that for a second. Passion projects, businesses, systems, ideas that can passively put money into your pocket. Now, I don't want to sell you the thought of investing $1,000 into something and you'll triple your money without doing anything, because that's not going to happen unless you're lucky. I'm sorry, just click off the video if that's what you thought. I talked a little bit about this actually in a previous video where I compared systems and service businesses, but I wanted to make it more prominent in this one. So let's just say that you work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for a whole year, making, let's say, $30 an hour. That's, I think, around $60,000 that you'll make that year. Not bad, but it's not like incredible though either, right? I honestly can't even say much because I still make less than that, but just hear me out for a second. That took 2,080 hours to make 60,000 in a year, right? That's just less than 3 entire months total. Now, what if you could make the same amount with half of the time spent building something? Think of it like this. Right now, you are spending your time working, right? But instead, what if you could invest your time working? Investing your time into building a system, a YouTube channel, a side hustle, studying even, or inventing for those big brainers out there. Now, suddenly the ceiling has disappeared. You're not limited to making a fixed income per hour or per contract, on a fixed schedule with a fixed salary. And that's also the issue. Everything is now in your control, which means it's in your control if you make 100,000 or 10,000 in a year. That's where I get into investing your money. Unfortunately, as an individual, sometimes you can't do everything yourself. Sometimes you can't control everything all at once. So you need to buy time with that money you saved up earlier, which previously you were going to spend on food, a car, or a phone, etc. You get the point. Because once you invest your money into systems, you can get up to 90% of the work done for you. Now, instead of being the guy making 30 an hour, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, you're just paying a group of people to do that work for you. Now, I'll give you my personal example. I, myself, run YouTube channels. And before you ask, no, this channel, I promise you, is 100% genuinely me. No manager, there's no scriptwriter, editor, whatever, okay? I'm not outsourcing anything. But on a couple other channels that are completely unrelated to this one, by the way, I have a group of video editors, a group of scripters, thumbnail designers, and operate almost now a business in which I split profits with a co-partner who does most of the managing. Currently, how it works is I pay for everything, do the voiceover, and am kind of like the talent of the video of the channel. And every so often, I review videos, scripts, etc. It's taken a really, really long time to hit profit, I will admit, but through that time, I was also learning everything, and so was my co-partner. We are both continuously learning more, applying different methods, testing new things, and now slowly making our money back. Or I should say my money back from what we've created. And I mean, to be completely honest, that's kind of what I wanted to just share with you guys, because now that we have this channel running, we're expecting to, knock on wood, that we're gonna, eventually make a lot of money from it and make passive income from it. Again, with the passive income, I don't like selling the idea that you can just, make a system and forget it and, you're good for the rest of your life. You're going to make so much money and you don't even have to do anything. Because that's not at all what I'm trying to say. Mostly what I'm trying to say is I believe that there's just way better ways to make money than the typical 9 to 5, the typical contract job, the typical trades job or whatever. It doesn't, any type of job where you're working for someone on a schedule, right? And don't get me wrong, it's not like a bad path. It's really not. Like personally, my parents, I mean, they both work in scheduled jobs under the community worker niche, and I gotta say, they're both very well off. They are definitely enjoying their lives, especially right now as they're going on pretty frequent vacations. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying you're going to be broke if you stick to a 9 to 5. All I'm saying is personally, I would much rather start building, be more creative, just start building, more projects, kind of like this YouTube channel, just building more systems where the ceiling to income is kind of, it's just on me. It's on me to make it. And that's scary, but it's also it's hopeful. A lot of people would say it's hopeless, but but it's only hopeless if you believe you're hopeless. And I go actually deeper into that on my last video where I talk about manifestation and the law of attraction. I really enjoyed making that video, so I suggest you take a look at it after this one. But for now, I just want to like kind of advertise the idea of, you know, investing your income into projects or businesses that you're well passionate about. Now, not to get into too much detail about, you know, my income or my savings or my checkings account, but let's just say about a year or two, no, we'll say 2 years ago, I had a pretty decent amount of money saved up. I was 18 years old. I was purely working from the age of literally 12 years old. And I was saving up every dollar. I spent like a little bit here and there. In high school, I spent a little bit more. You know, then I blew it on a car, which I'll make another video about. But I still had a lot left over because I'm living at home. I don't pay rent, and I was making income purely from my house and other sources of work. So I needed something to invest my money into, and I couldn't just let it sit in my bank account, because if you do that, it just depreciates over time with inflation. So you have to invest it into something. And personally, I decided, okay, I'm going to invest it into, you know, maybe some stocks, ETFs, I think, or EFT. No, ETFs, definitely ETFs. But then I thought to myself, I really want to start something. I have income, I have saved up money, I want to start something. Which leads to my example earlier of starting my YouTube channel. And that, by the way, costs a lot of money. So if you don't have a lot of money saved up, I wouldn't really suggest that right now. But just invest your money and time into something. Don't use it all on your 9 to 5, on your stable, consistent job. You can keep your job. You can keep the consistency. That's okay. You can even do that for the rest of your life. I'm just saying, do something with your money, or else it's just going to sit there, depreciate, lose its value, and you won't be nearly as well off as you will be if you do invest it into something, at least. Just be smart. I'm not a financial advisor. Please don't take my word for 100% certainty, because I don't want to screw anyone over. Okay, that's all for today. I'm done talking. Subscribe, guys. I'll see you later.